Alright, timestamp. It is June 29, 6/29, 2026. Just about 9 p.m. Vix just texted me to let me know she got home safe. And that Sammy puked in the car. Some coffee. Tired. Long day. Between sitting down and kind of making a planning session, walking the grounds in general, just kind of getting together a game plan, because things aren't out of control or anything like that. Well, I mean, they're as in control as they can be given the circumstances. That dish is going, hey, me being productive. Doing some of the Starbucks medium. Yeah, I'm gonna nuke it for 30. Still doing the ghetto thing. So, it's what I got at the moment. But we've just got so many different things we're trying to get done, and we've been joking about it. And I can really hear it in my voice, like the congestion behind the sinuses. We've got like 8 priority ones. You know what I mean? Need to get her out of George, because selling that, we've got 2 interested buyers already. Which is a good problem to have, housing dilemma in Florida. But we've got essentially 2 neighbors that want to expand their territory from a standpoint of, like, on either side of us. They've making plans. They want to be able to expand their kingdom, essentially. And the best way to do that is to buy the house next door, right? They can drop the fence in between, and suddenly they have a gigantic backyard. They can put up tiny homes in the backyard, whatever they want. They can make themselves a little family compound. And both neighbors are like, when you do get ready to sell that, let us know. It's like, we actually have like instant competition, which that's nice. It's in rough shape. I don't know what we're going to get for it, but both neighbors already know that. They see it, So getting her out of George enabled us to basically not really flip that house, but kind of. We're about to pay the mortgage off, which is pretty exciting. Got like 2 payments left. Bought the place in 98, 97. So a year or 2 early. Cool. It's been a struggle. But it's a monthly payment we won't have to make, which is a big bonus. And we'll also be getting a lump of cash, which, yeah, that's pretty cool. We've got to be careful. We can't just, go to Vegas or anything like that. Not that we would anyway, but that'll be a good problem to have. That'll fix a lot of issues. So getting her out of George is a good thing. Getting the Lanai clear to where we've got better storage there. We're still, we had a false alarm today. We're looking for a couple of pocket watches that my dad hid. And they're not, I think they might be worth like $500 each, but they're like family heirloomy kind of things. I think one was his father's and one was his. His dad died, he got the other one, so they're both my dad's, They're supposed to go to the grandkids, So at one point we're digging in the alcove. We're lots of glassware, and I did punk my girl on something. I'll explain that in a sec. Um, she picked up one of those. You ever seen those like metal clipboards? Like 4-minute construction sites will carry them. And they're like solid metal, and they open. They have like a compartment inside. She found one underneath debris, and there was like heavy, hard rattling inside, and she was like, and she's trying to get it open frantically. She's like wearing gloves. She's like, I can't get this open. And because we were thinking they're in here, but it was like a couple of screwdrivers and like a hinge, a door hinge. We went from two, but at one point, I'm so bad. We love candles, but she found this, and she was like trying to tip it because that. She's like, I don't know if there's writing on the bottom. Can you take a look at that? She has a real hard time like reading small print up close. And I was like, do not remove property of Vaticar. And she was like, oh my God, Vatican? I'm like, oh yeah, that might be it. She's like, are you serious? I'm like, no, there's nothing on the bottom, it's blank. She's like, thought we stole that from like a diocese or something. Like, no. I mean, maybe, I don't know where my parents got it, It does look like one of those, though, doesn't it? In the front, you light it for a soul or whatnot. If you light 3 in a row, you get a bonus soul as well. It's kind of cool. A little light appears, it comes floating down, so it's neat. It's kind of like Groucho Marx and the Duck. Okay, to be clear, that's actually before my time, but I watched a lot of old-time TV as a kid. And if you have no idea what I'm talking about, you're pretty young. And that's okay. That's okay. That's okay. I'm 55, but I know stuff that like 80 and 90-year-olds know. And I actually know stuff that like 16-year-olds know. I'm actually pretty cool. Welcome to Gen X. So this was not stolen from the Vatican. Nothing underneath. But for a brief moment, my wife did not know that. I'm so bad. I just couldn't resist doing it, though. It was just too funny. The possibilities were just extreme. So yeah, a lot of totes of glassware. Some of them were actually packed, like, not bad, where we could just kind of look through it real quick, make sure my dad hadn't, tucked pocket watches or paperwork somewhere. So we're still missing a lot of family paperwork and some photographs, some important photographs that would have been with the important paperwork stuff. Like family reunion, can't replace this because 90% of the people in the photograph are dead, I mean, I guess you could replace it, but you'd be breaking some laws and it's kind of gross. What does exhum mean? I got a whole bunch of healthcare stuff from my mom in the mail today, reminding her for checkups and things of that nature. Because when you're older, every health industry wants to send you huge amounts of paperwork to try and, sometimes it's legitimate and sometimes it's grift, It's feeling particularly snarky. I was told by Pix, don't do it. I was thinking about writing letters to them, letting them know where they could find her if they actually did want to do like a full body scan and things like that. And they might have to get like a judge or a court to sign off on it, but if they really want to, they can. I know where she is. She was like, don't do that. she's been gone a year, and it's still at least once a week in the mailbox. Today there were like 3 things. It's like, guys, I know agencies don't report back and forth. I get it. It's kind of annoying. I got a whole lot of Mother's Day stuff from Mom last month, which was just like, cool, thanks, Father's Day came and went this past, week, what have you. We didn't mention anything to my dad because he doesn't know he's a father anymore. He thinks he's a 20-something kid who hasn't even gotten married yet. If we start talking about Father's Day, he's going to get on the wagon of, why haven't my parents come by to visit me while I'm in the hospital? Well, because they've been dead for 53 years. I mean, that's probably the big reason, because I'm willing to bet if that weren't the case, they would have moseyed up here. If you've been in this situation, you get it. I have one dark patch there. But it is a pretty weird situation to be in. My dad doesn't know who I am. I'm his cousin. Which I expect he did have, I don't know, cousins. Because, again, his dad had like 2 brothers. So the possibility that he had cousins, i.e. his dad's brothers, reproduced at some point, yeah, likely. Sure. In the 40s, 50s, yeah. Or 30s if they're older. Yeah. It's what you did. You got married, you had kids. You bought a house, you could work one job and pay all your bills. Now, tell me the world hasn't changed a little bit. When one guy can work a factory job and cover all the bills for everybody in the family, and you can live comfortably at least, now, tell me the rules haven't changed. I don't know about you, but when I was working just the one job running the shop, we also had a major side hustle going on with eBay, and we'd do some artistic crafty gigs here and there too, and we were barely scraping by. Luckily, my mortgage payment is actually lower than most people's apartment rent, because when I got in, I bought my house in, again, 97, 98. It was right before everything went incredibly stupid. I got so lucky on that. Because I tell people what my mortgage payment is, and they're like, that's half of my rent for a 1-bedroom apartment. I'm like, sorry, I didn't do it. I mean, I did the mortgage, but I didn't cause that. Don't get mad at me, The rules changed. The rules changed while we were looking right at it, too, which is pretty weird. They got away with it, and we even had a talking dog. Speaking of which, I want to go out and see if I can see the moon. It's supposed to be strawberry moon tonight. Full moon, if you're into the astrology thing. And on this note, interesting thing to bring up. Pix and I both had really crazy, weird dreams about my dad last night. We're going to go outside, guys. Whoop. Whoop and zig. Yeah. Give it gas. Come on. Oh, click, click, click. Thank you. Oh my God, can you move? Come on, fellas. Come on, Tam. Oh, boy. There you go. He's getting pudgy. Yeah, I'm coming too. I want to see this moon of which they have spoken. Oh, the lanai's getting even more frightening in the dark. Oop, hearing the frogs in the pool. Heard a little bloop. They were singing earlier because it was raining. Okay. But if you're into this sort of thing, hey, whoever dug that hole, thanks a lot. It's supposed to be a full moon in Capricorn. And for Capricorns, this can mean a transition, especially having to do with family, finance, and especially father figures. So I saw that on the internet the other day and I was like, huh, okay. It's so cloudy I can't see her. That's unfortunate. Nice grab. You know, I don't have to hold your paw. No, don't lick my hand. My hand's been kissed by dog lips. Get the Bactine. It's a nice night after the rain. It was 80s in the alcove. Sadly, not the decade. Although I was with a Gen Xer. Yeah, it's too cloudy to see. Sadness. Ooh, is that her? I can't tell. I know, that's the way I feel about it too, Tam. So much sadness. Okay. Feeling the mosquitoes already. 'Cause they love me. I'll check again later. Yeah, Pex and I both had just weird and disturbing dreams where my dad was like the guest star. You know, when we connected via the phone this morning, she was like telling me about some of what was in her dream, and I told her some of what was in mine, and we were both just like, well, that's weird, you know. Which also just adds to the anxiety of, yeah, I need you to follow me. Oh, you're both here. All right, fellas. Come on, Tam. Come on. Adds to the anxiety of that kind of phone calls coming, you know. She and I have had not normal to the point where they're para situations where that kind of stuff's concerned. So we tend to pay attention. Gently, thank you. All 5, good, go. Oh, 1 per customer, go. Tannhauser. Oh, fumble. Get it, get it. Just staring at it. Staring at the scene. I'd give you a cookie, but you look at me like I'm crazy. Doodle. Actually, Hi. How you doing? Okay. He doesn't do people food, my cat. Haven't ruled out the whole alien thing. It's very strange. Doesn't do canned food. Kibble. Yeah, talking about you. Put down raw chicken, raw fish, cooked chicken. He'll snip it and try and bury it. Walk away. Any other cat or dog in the house is like, let me at that stuff. Wants nothing to do with it. Even like the Temptations, the little cat treats and whatnot, he'll snip it and walk away. And it's even kibble-like, which is weird. I thought for sure, I'm like, okay, this is kind of like kibble. He'll like that. Nope, you're trying to trick me. I just want what's in the bowl. Yeah, I said it. So, a couple of sales on eBay that need to go out, which is a great problem to have. I need more though. Sold a $50 comic book, Doctor Who action figure lot, and a Star Trek action figure lot. About $100 coming in. Okay. Cool. Some cash on hand, just kind of limping through. So again, yeah, getting picks out of George and flipping George, that would help. Plus we're basically like double billed. So we've got 2 households running. Would make that stretch a little bit further. You know. That'd be swell. So I'm not gonna stretch it out tonight. Tired. We did do a quick Aldi run just to get creamer, bread, a little bit of cheese, you know, kind of staples around here. We got some Havarti and some Gouda. Their cheese selection and the prices, so good, so good. And I picked up some more dog jerky, because if Sammy's going to be coming with picks, because that's kind of what we're looking at, because he overheats more than the cats do. The cats have a couple of little places they can go at George that are nice and cool. Sammy doesn't have that kind of freedom, you know. He's a big boy. It's a border terrier, probably 50 pounds. So she's going to be bringing him with. Actually, he doesn't really know the Chihuahua, or the, I guess, Pomchi. That's what LT says that she thinks he is. Yeah, talking about you. She knows her Chihuahua mixes, so I would trust her on that. I don't. But he doesn't really know him, but Tanner kind of keeps to himself anyway. But he and Scrappy have been running around and acting goofy all day, so we don't have to worry about fights because they were pretty much raised together for the first year and change. So that's good. But yeah, the way the weather is right now, Sam will overheat at George. The house gets warm. It gets warm. done with central air, so the little wall units, whatnot, they are the little engine that almost could. So it'll keep it, at 85 instead of 95, but there's no airflow, so that's a pretty warm room, for a big shaggy dog. This border terrier, he's got some fur. He's not a short hair. I think he's probably considered a medium wire hair or something like that. He gets warm. Yeah, apparently he threw up in the car on the way home. Of course he did. He always gets car sick. Got our one brick. Got a game plan. She understands a little better what we're dealing with here, which, is mayhem. She has mayhem, we have mayhem. Big cauldron of mayhem. And I think we can make it work. But yeah, there's 8 priority ones. Different areas we still need to clear, essentially. And running out of room to put things once we actually go through it. But everything here is packed horribly by my parents. We're packing it like retail tight. So every area that we go through and then repack behind ourselves, we actually gain a little bit of ground. Still a finite amount of space. So that's the tricky part. We can do it, but that's definitely the tricky part. Trying to stay positive about the whole thing, but did not want to have to deal with this. But I also wouldn't trust a complete stranger to not rip us off, and or they would not honor my parents' wishes. The burn barrel and certain other things that my parents both were very insistent on. They're not going to do that. I'm paying them to do a job. They're going to come in here and basically do like a bulk job. They're not going to worry about details. They're just going to tell me, oh yeah, we did that. And that would be doing my parents a disservice, and I can't do that. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? I may be resentful, but I'm still going to be honorable in the way I deal with it. That sounds almost like it shouldn't exist in the same sentence, right? I'm still going to do what's right, even if I'm pissed off while I'm doing it. I'm a little pissed off. Okay, I'm a lot pissed off. I'm going to go ahead and sign off here. I'm going to double check eBay, see if anything. I've got a couple people that are trying to negotiate with me on some. I've got somebody that wants like 2 or 3 of the Among Us figures. So I've got like 12 listed right now. Some of these guys. Now I've got some on my desk. He's not for sale. But I do have another one of him. His doppelganger. But yeah, I've got a few on my desk and a few on a shelf by the bed. I like them. They're come on, they're fun. These are great. But I've got like 12 extras, doubles basically listed. And I've got somebody that wants one of the blue egg heads, the pink with the flower, and they said that there were a couple others they might want to get. And I'm like, I'll put a package together for you. Tell me which ones you want. Waiting. And I got somebody else trying to negotiate with me on a couple of different Doctor Who figure lots. They want these 2 and these 2. They're thinking about it price-wise, what they'd be willing to spend. It's like, as long as I have them, I will sell them to you. I'm not going to give them to you, but I will sell them to you. know, Tanner just went trotting past. Not sure what he has in mind. So, I'm going to enjoy my coffee, double check eBay, and then I'm going to go drift off to sleep watching Revenge of the Cybermen, I believe, which is some number 4, Harry and Sarah. Cybermen, the Planet of Gold. It's good stuff. It's good stuff. And again, you may think it's weird, but it's no different than drifting off to sleep listening to a favorite album. You know? I drift off to sleep listening to Forever Your Girl. You can Google that, it's fine. I'm not offended by it. I could have said like Abbey Road or Thriller. That would have been a little bit more, you know, everybody's heard of it kind of thing. But me yesterday, I was listening to I listened to Ammonia Avenue and Gaudi. You're gonna have to Google that. Likely. 1 out of 10,000 is gonna know what I'm talking about there. Anyway, Ammonia Avenue and Gaudi, Gaudi. Mm-hmm. It's good stuff. So, as well as the producers, Legally Blonde, Jekyll and Hyde. Didn't get around to Into the Woods, but I have it. Once upon a time. More than the moon. Sondheim. Complicated music, but so good. It's a lot more complicated than people think. There's layers within the layers, and precision. Complicated, and just masterpieces. But that's me as a musical theater guy, geeking out. So anyway. No. Still not AI, by the way. One day maybe I will be. Actually, AI has probably already looked at my videos and gone, I don't know what to do with this. How do I catalog this? I don't know either. This is just me doing a live journal, taking you on the ride of de-hoarding, cognitive decline parents, emphysema, health issues, Gen Xer. There are 8 subject words you could use here. Dork, geek, collector, sci-fi, horror, whatever. I'm a complicated person. Going through a very complicated phase in life. And trying not to end here. I'd like my story to continue. So, anyway. That's the goal anyway. Exactly. Thank you, Zach. Always there. Not yet, I haven't. Alright. Got the clamp. So yeah, hug your parents. Hug your kids. If you are one of the parents in this situation, please don't do this to your kids. They won't even realize that they're thankful for it, but they'll be thankful for it. Because yes, there's treasures to discover and whatnot, but I'd rather be doing my own thing. I wasn't bored. You know what I mean? So, ponder that. And make it a great day.